Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to 30 Days of Illumination. Today is day 9, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you about this topic: what is a dark night of the soul? And for anybody who is on the spiritual healing path, this hopefully will be quite illuminating for you because many of us go through this, if not once, but sometimes more than once on our healing journey. And so I want to help support you in navigating the dark night of the soul and understanding what it is. And, as you understand it, it'll help you move through it quite a lot. So when they do come up for you. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here live with me. Definitely feel free to drop a word or a sentence in the comments on how you're doing today. I am feeling really good. The sun is shining so bright, and I feel very, very creative right now in my life. I'm creating so much, and it feels really good. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you for being here with me live. So I'm Sarah Shirley. I'm an intuitive healer, a spiritual teacher, a channel, a medicine woman, and I support people in breaking through the blocks that are here for them in their lives, and especially in particular light workers and healers. People who know that you're here to make a big impact on the planet, that you're here to use your spiritual and divine gifts to do that. And it can show up in so many different ways, like the ways you might serve might be different from me and from the next person. But if you feel called to get some support, do reach out and connect for a heart to heart. I would love to support you. So I want to share also that I'm hosting a free masterclass coming up next week. It's going to be so powerful. And if you're not able to join live, you can still sign up and get access to the replay for 7 days. The masterclass is called Release Religious Wounding. And we're going to get super clear on all the blocks that are there, because there's actually I'm compiling a list of all the blocks we can carry around religion and the messages we've gotten from maybe not even just our own religions, but other religions around us, and the limiting beliefs we can carry. So we're going to do some deep work around clearing that. And then I'm going to also do a transmission for you to help you connect more to your own higher power and to source energy. So I'm really excited. You can check out the link in my bio or register through the link in the comments as well for this video. So thank you for being here with me. It's so nice to see you all here. So yesterday I talked about why shadow work is necessary in order to truly glow. Sorry, I can't speak properly today. Yesterday I talked about why shadow work is necessary in order to truly grow. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, I highly recommend going back and watching that. And I've already done some awesome topics. People have been sharing their growth stories with me and these aha moments that they're having. So if you're getting some of those too as you're listening, please comment, share with me, share with us, or send me a private message. I would love to hear from you. So let's dive into today's topic. What is a dark night of the soul? So I'm curious what you already know, or what kind of perceptions you already have about what a dark night of the soul is. So you can let me know in the comments if you have any idea what that means. But I do want to say that there is often a lot of misconception around a dark night of the soul and comparing it to like depression, and they don't necessarily go hand in hand. So this term, I found out today through a little bit of research, was actually first coined by a poem by a man named Saint John of the Cross. He was a Spanish mystic, I think in the 16th century. And you can go check out that poem if you want. You can find it online for free. And I'm just reading your comments here. This is the first. It's not just one night. Yeah. It's true. It's like a period. Thank you for commenting that, actually, because it's true. It's not one night, one dark night of the soul. It's usually like over a period of time, which is cute and funny. And you're right. You're so right. And this is the first time I hear of this subject, and you don't know anything about it. Okay, awesome. So you're in the right place to learn more. So what it actually is like your ego and your identity going through a major internal shift. And it can be like old parts of you are dying off. You're feeling maybe like a lot of blockages, a lot of stuckness, and you might be experiencing like a lot of limiting beliefs. In a dark night of the soul, it sounds quite intense because it actually can be very intense. It can feel like chaos is happening. Like you're in this chaotic place where it's like all dark and it feels like just darkness is all around you. So chaos, confusion, can feel like nothing makes sense in your life, just feeling completely lost. It's like this huge shaking up is happening for you. And you might not realize it at first because you might just feel like you're feeling really down or really stuck or depressed. But that's what's actually happening in the background. It's like this really big shakeup is happening. And it seems like everything in your life is falling apart. And I want to say I have a lot of compassion and a lot of empathy because I've been through this on more than one occasion. And like my first one was such a dark time for me when I had this. I've shared about it in some of the other videos, but just really briefly, I went through this phase where I got laid off from my job, and a job that I only took because I was trying to please my parents. Actually, I got laid off and I had all these expenses and no income coming in. And it was like dark outside during that season. It was November, and I just remember spending all day in bed almost every day, wearing jogging pants and feeling like miserable and so hard on myself and just completely lost. It's like I knew something needed to change, but I felt completely stuck. And I was suffering from so much fatigue at that time too. I just couldn't get out of bed. I remember messaging one of my friends often and just being like, wow, I'm so tired. I can't get out of this. And then the message came in a dream that I was meant to get into doing healing work. And that was like this big moment, this huge pivotal changing moment in my life. But I feel like I had to go through that darkness and all that pain and like misery in order to really wake up. Yeah, I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, you're not really sure because you would think it would mean depression. You've been here in this place. Yeah. So it's like sometimes we need to have these like dark moments where it feels like everything's falling apart in order for us to truly wake up. Like that's a huge word. Like I feel it carries such magnetism, or no, like it carries a magnitude of energy right now for us, that it's like shaking us up to really show us like what's happening in our lives, what you're living and how you're living is not working. And so it wakes you up. So let me know if you've ever been through this, where you've had one of these really intense periods of time where it's like, wow, nothing is going well for me right now. I'm miserable. It's like a spiritual crisis that's happening when we go through these dark nights of the soul. And we can feel like we're in despair and have a lot of emotional pain that's coming up for us. So it's not easy. That's why it's called Dark Night of the Soul. It's not an easy time. And also a big part of it is that we can feel trapped and like there's no way out. It's like unclear, it's dark. We can't see the light in these moments. Yeah, you had a moment like this 2 years ago where everything was broken. Yeah. Deep depression more than a few times. Totally. So this feeling of like no way out, I know I've felt that, and it's awful. It's an awful sensation to have because like you can't see how anything can possibly get better. And also during these times, most of us, if not all of us, feel very disconnected from spirit, from a higher power, and we lose our trust and faith in life. And so I'm going to talk about the medicine of how to kind of work your way out of these kinds of times in your life. And I'll get there in a moment. So another word that you can use to call a dark night of the soul is like the void. One of my teachers, Sophia Sundari, who's like a feminine embodiment coach and a really powerful woman. I've taken several courses with her. She talks about this feeling of the void. It's like this empty space. It's dark. We can't see anything. And I was taking one of her programs a couple of years ago in the fall, and I went through one of these voids where it felt like everything was falling apart. And it was cool because this time, and that void 2 years ago, I felt like I was able to trust and surrender and to just surrender to it happening. And again, I'll go more into the medicine of how to work with it. Yeah, this word of hopelessness. Yeah, it's so charged, right? When we're going through a dark night of the soul or one of these big spiritual transformations, it can feel hopeless sometimes. And we can feel helpless as well. So Carolyn Myss, who is a medical intuitive, a quite famous one, I was reading up a little bit about what she says about dark nights of the soul. And she says that their purpose is to break you down and change your understanding of how the divine works in your life. So these times can actually be really big initiations. And initiations are like challenging times or challenging experiences we have in our lives that help us be able to really get more into our power, to trust more deeply, to have more faith, so that we can move through those challenges and be stronger and more of ourselves on the other side of them. It's like life testing us. That's like what initiation is. So they can also, these dark nights of the soul also can shift our alignment and values to what is real to us and true. Like for you, not for someone else, not for your parents, not for the religious path that you may have followed or been like talked to about, or for like, to your boss or anyone around you. It's like, it helps get you more in alignment with your truth and what's true to you. Also to your own connection to the divine, and ultimately pave the way for your life and purpose here on earth. So even though they feel really difficult, they help us step more into our authenticity and to our power. So what's the medicine? What medicine or tools, practices, ways of thinking can you work with in order to help yourself through a dark night of the soul? So the biggest medicine that I have found is surrender. So like I was sharing a moment ago, when I went through that void space a couple of years ago, and I felt like nothing made sense, I felt really lost and not sure how to move forward, I just surrendered into the experience. And surrender is just like, okay, putting your hands up and like, I accept everything right now in this moment. I don't need to force anything. I don't need to try and fix anything or change it. I surrender. And you let yourself just feel whatever is here and whatever is present. There is such powerful medicine in surrender. And this is one of the feminine, like divine feminine energies we can embody, no matter what gender you are. Surrender is such a powerful energy to embody. So it's just like accepting whatever's here. Because when we're trying to fix or force things, we're in a state of contraction. And we're not actually open to allowing what's meant for us to come through. So surrender is super important. So what else? Embrace. So surrender, accept, and embrace what's present. I'm not sure what you mean by your comment about that's normal. You can maybe elaborate on that a little bit. Another piece of the medicine during that time of a dark night of the soul, when nothing is making sense and you're feeling like you're in this void, is to start taking more time for silence. I talked about silence in day one as a way of developing your intuition more. Silence, I find, is one of the most important things in my life for me, and it's helped me immensely on my spiritual path of growth. So take time for silence, for meditation, to go outside in nature, to take nourishing, like healing baths, and tune into yourself. What matters for you? What's important for you in your life? What do you value? These are questions you can ask yourself when you're going through a dark night of the soul or you're in the void. What do you truly desire in your life? And then start noticing, what are all the blocks or limiting beliefs that you're carrying around your desires, for example. It's like, I want love, but I don't believe I'm worthy of it. No one ever shows up for me. I don't belong. Whatever limiting beliefs or wounds that you're carrying, let them shine in the light. Let them come forward so that you can become more aware of them and then move more towards what it is that you truly desire in your life. And, in that example of 2 years ago when I was in that void space, I feel like I went through it for maybe like a week or two maximum, but I surrendered, and then all of a sudden, like, everything started coming forward and making sense. And actually, a lot of the things that I was already living didn't even need to completely dissolve away. I was like, oh, I'm still doing this with my life. I'm still showing up like in my work this way, etc. Like, I thought everything was crumbling, but actually there were a lot of things that were working already. And then like just some new stuff started coming in as well. So it's like, when you surrender, know that it's not going to last forever. And you can trust that. This practice, in order to help you get through something like a dark night of the soul, is really, really trusting. So Another part of the dark night of the soul, if it's like a process of breaking through to the dawn of higher consciousness. It's going to help you become more conscious of yourself and more conscious of all the things I just mentioned, like what do you truly desire? What are your values? What's important to you? How do you want to show up in the world? Let these things start pouring through as you're in this space of the void or the darkness. It's actually an essential part of a spiritual awakening, the dark night of the soul. And it's actually, I really want to hammer this home, it's here to support you in your growth, even though it might not feel that way. It's actually here to help you learn and grow. So as much time as you can take to just be with what's here, to accept it, to allow it, to explore it with like curiosity. One of my teachers, Audra Santa, she always talks about curiosity. And I love that because it's like a lighter energy we can use to explore what's here and what's present for us. So find curiosity, find ways to bring more of that frequency into your life when you're going through a challenging time. Get curious on what am I feeling? What's here? What's blocking me? And to not make it into a disaster or a catastrophe, you know? Who's guilty of that? You know, when you're going through a hard time, making it into like a disaster or catastrophe, like telling yourself, oh, it's going to be like this forever. Yeah. That's common. And that's okay. And then try your best to observe yourself, to notice when you're doing that, to notice the thoughts you're telling yourself. Yeah. So the biggest piece I want you to remember through this kind of process, if you're going through a dark night of the soul or a big spiritual transformation and awakening, remember that it won't last forever. If you keep telling yourself it's going to last forever, there's some resistance in that. Resistance is contractive. It keeps us stuck in some ways. So the more you can open and surrender and trust, the more quickly you will move through it. And I've seen this time and time and time again. Yeah, it feels like forever when you're in it. It's true. It does. And then you can trust yourself too, that like as you practice surrendering and just letting yourself feel all the things that are there, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier with time. And I've seen this in myself and in my clients that I work with. Like the more you just surrender and allow, the more quickly you'll move through some things. Things used to take me sometimes months to move through them before. Now I can transmute them in like a day or sometimes an hour because I give myself permission to go through it fully. Yeah. I love that. So if you feel like you're going through a big dark night of the soul, if you feel like you're stuck in a lot of like confusion and clarity right now in your life and you would like some support, do reach out. I offer one-on-one healing containers for 3 or 6 months, and I help you make sense of it all and then shed all the things that are old, that are blocking you from moving forward so that you can truly forge your new path in your life and live the life that you actually came here to live. So if you would like to apply for a heart-to-heart, you can click the link in my bio, or you can send me a DM or check out the link in the comments for this video. Also, join us for the Religious Wounding Masterclass that's happening next week. It's going to be really beautiful. You don't have to be there live. If you're not able to be, you'll get the recording available for 7 days. And tomorrow, for day 10 of 30 Days of Illumination, I'm going to be offering free oracle card readings. So tomorrow is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll only be able to offer a certain amount in the time frame that I'm available for tomorrow. So come at 11. And I would love to offer you an oracle card reading and maybe help bring some clarity into your life right now or support you in whatever aspect that you need. So if you have any friends that you feel would benefit from this video, please tag them in the comments below and share this video with them. And I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you all for your comments and for being present and being open to receive these teachings today. You know, they've helped me a lot. And I really want to be here to help support you to move through. Because the more of us are in our light and in our power, the better the world's going to be. I'm here to create heaven on earth. And so I hope you're in that with me too. Thank you so much for being here, you beauties. I love you all. and I will see you again soon.